Welcome to the final DLC for Season 1, possibly even the final DLC for Demon Slayer 2, who knows. But Doma is here to close things out with a bang, a brand new demon with a very unique moveset, incredible animations, and a ton of saucy combos. Let's break down what this character can do and let you know whether he's worth your money or not. Doma has a very slow dash speed at only level 1, but a decent damage multiplier for a demon at 1.15 times. And it's not just his dash speed that makes him feel slow, he also has a very floaty air dash. This definitely hurts the character a lot, so does his moveset make up for that? Let's look at his normals first. Doma's attacks aren't bad by themselves, but he does lack a lunge with actual range. This is the furthest he can reach. This is his neutral combo. This is his up combo. And this is his down combo. They're all really fast, which is awesome for all of his routes. When boosted, his combo finisher looks like this. And his surge animation looks like this. His jumping attacks unfortunately do not hit close to the ground. He can't immediately hit grounded opponents. But the air combo is fast, so if he gets his opponents up there, he can keep it pretty quick. His dive is incredible. It has a ton of range because of the ice it produces, and it starts a yellow combo if you catch your opponent with it. That said, it is unsafe on block and can only be cancelled really late. It is very dangerous to use. His grab is really good in my opinion. It reminds me a little bit of Gyome's with that arm reach. His heavy, on the other hand, is not so great, because while it does look like it has decent range and it is pretty fast, it's one of the few heavies in the game that doesn't actually travel if you charge it. So if the opponent is far away, you can't heavy, the reach will always just be this. Some upsides, some downsides, overall not the best of starts for Doma, but let's look at what really makes a character. His skills. Doma's got a quick projectile, a ground summon, and an armored reversal. Starting with his neutral skill, this projectile is fast, and by dash canceling behind it, you can start your approach and still deal decent damage as it starts a yellow combo. It's easy to dodge, so it's less of a zoning tool and more of an anti-approaching tool. You can also hold down the button of the projectile, which will make this move plus on block and cause the opponent to crumple on hit, giving you a much better combo conversion. Next, his tilt skill summons icy tentacles from the ground. It tracks the opponent's position but doesn't reach very far, and it's incredibly unsafe on block, which in my opinion makes it mostly a combo tool. Especially since if you do it in the air, it gives you a ton of jumping attacks, but even on the ground it allows for some free combo extensions. And his guard skill is an armored reversal that leaves some frozen lotuses on the stage. The lotuses disappear pretty fast, but they linger for long enough to make this move really hard to punish, even when you whiff the button. It is unsafe on block, but depending on how you space it out, you can make it nearly impossible to punish. And ultimately, it lets Doma play incredibly safe when you don't know what your opponent is going to do. 3 really good skills. Let's move on to his demon skills. For demon skills, he has a big trap and a projectile that destroys super armor. Neutral demon skill is your best button. It's an armored move that sets up a trap all around you, and if the opponent touches it, it starts a big combo. Because you're armored and the area is gigantic and it lingers on stage, it's just an incredible button. But there are a few ways of countering it, like blocking a hit or throwing an assist. Yes, the assist will be sacrificed, but the trap will be gone. You can also throw an armored move of your own if you think your move will outlast the trap's duration. It has to be an armored move, however, because if you do an invincible move, the frozen lotuses are just gonna stay there until your invincibility runs out. It's a great button for chasing opponents, for applying pressure on wake up, or even as a defensive move if you see a gap in your opponent's pressure. It does have an annoying bug right now though, because if you do it as soon as you knock down an opponent, it doesn't actually work. But all you gotta do to fix it is delay the button a little bit, so I don't think it's a big issue. And then Tilt Demon Skill shoots out a slow moving projectile that will destroy super armored moves. It doesn't destroy invincible moves, only super armor. The projectile doesn't linger for very long, so once again it's more of a defensive tool. It's not a projectile that you shoot and then move behind to start your own approach. And it's very unsafe on block from close range, but it's awesome if you run into someone trying to abuse heavy attacks. With that, let's cap off his moveset with his ultimate. Doma brings only one ultimate to the game, and it has a pretty bad activation. This thing has no range at all, but its verticality works really well for most of his combos, and on hit, the animation looks like this. Let's do some combos. I found this combo that only spends 1 bar of meter, but regenerates it back by the end of the combo. It's pretty good damage for a combo that's basically free. If you want to spend 2 bars, the combo is a bit technical because of that delay. I usually don't go for this one, but it can be useful in some situations. For 3 bars, this is probably my most used combo in matches. It's pretty easy to confirm into since it starts with a full up combo. If your opponent falls for your trap, you can get really good damage spending only 2 more bars of meter. And finally, if you want to throw an ultimate, I'd find it best to bring the opponent back down to the ground and finish the combo with a guard skill. Let's move on to his game plan. Doma's small buttons and lack of a lunge are gonna make it really hard to punish things that you used to take for granted. That means he's gonna have a few matchups that are gonna be really hard for him to deal with, like try punishing Kagaku's armored moves with this guy. He just doesn't reach him. And even if you see your opponent whiffing something in neutral because of his floaty air dodge and slow dash speed, it will be very hard to punish them. This is not a character you can be aggressive with, not only because he's slow and has no range with his buttons, but also he has a lack of chasing skills. This is a very hard character to start pressure with. I mean, he has stuff like jumping projectiles into a dash cancel, but that's hella expensive. You can't do it super often. Instead, I feel like this character has been built as the anti-aggressor. It's hard to approach Doma given all the counters that he has. You may be thinking of his armored options right now, and it's true. If you set up a trap, you make it very scary for opponents to get closer. His guard skill feels like really safe to use most of the time. But don't forget that even his projectile is so quick that it will stop dashes easily, and potentially give you a combo as well. But when in doubt, Demon Skill. Opponent is waking up, chase them, and Demon Skill. They can't press anything. A gap in the enemy's pressure? Demon Skill. They're using big neutral moves? Demon Skill. But of course, this only works if the opponent has a reason to chase you. If they have the health lead and can happily wait for a timeout, you might have some trouble. Throughout the season, I've often criticized how loud characters have become. Not sound-wise, but visually. The effects are too much. They have been since Kagaku. The noise on screen makes it really hard to see the fighting game. It's flashy, but it gets in the way. Not with Doma though. He has the perfect amount of effects and still looks like a flashy, powerful character. I have to give CyberConnect 2 praise after criticizing them for so long for this specific thing. I think they really nailed the balance here of making the character feel powerful, but not ruining the game visually. In terms of fan service, I think he's a bit lacking, honestly. Probably because they didn't want to go all out. This is a Doma that's still holding back after all. It's a version that fought Shinobu in the movie, so he can't just show all the cards that he has. But perhaps because of that, the ultimate animation, despite being beautiful and incredibly well made, feels a bit poor in terms of choreography. Plus, he lacks any unique interactions, no unique quotes against Akaza, Muzan, or even Shinobu. Gameplay-wise, I like his gimmick a lot. The trap is awesome. It gives us some decent wake-up pressure, which is something this game is definitely missing. It could use more skills that allow us to do that. But even the guard skill has lingering frozen flowers, and that projectile just stops dashes beautifully. This character plants their feet and makes it really hard for you to approach them. That's his gimmick, and that's kind of unique. And also, every time he gets a touch, he has good damage, and that feels satisfying. The only caveat I would give it is that defensive characters tend to not work very well in this game. It's too easy to stay away once you gain the health lead against a character that's slow and has no chasing abilities. And I think against that, Doma doesn't really stand a chance. That said, overall, this is a very fun character. I still think the DLC is very much worth it. And honestly, makes me really wish this isn't the last we've seen of this game. And that's the Doma review, but we're not done with Demon Slayer 2. We'll be back soon with a new series now that we have the full roster unlocked, and who knows, maybe they're working on a season 2. I don't know which characters they would do, but maybe you have some ideas. Let me know who could make it in the comments down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!